Afternoon folks, here at Dunipace, just outside Falkirk, and we've came at the right time because we're accompanied by some pipes, which is quite fitting for where we are. Dunipace is an unusual place but a very historical one. The name itself, Dunipace, is a combination of two different languages, if you will. The first being Dun, which means fort, and the reason Dun is in there is it is believed that the hills, which I'm facing quite at the minute, had a fort on it, so Dun stands for fort. And the last part, pace, is apparently Latin for peace, and according to the legends, the Romans and the Picts came to an agreement here, and the settlement here was named Dunipace, a fort of peace. Though some believe nowadays that to be more of a mythical legend rather than fact. But why we're here today, we're here at what would have been Dunipace Church or Dunipace Chapel, and it's quite historic in the sense that William Wallace's uncle was once the priest here at Dunipace, and it's said that William Wallace spent a bit of his time here being educated by his uncle, and the most important of those lessons was that of freedom. It's an old saying that his uncle taught William, which was, "I tell you this, my son, freedom is the best of all things. Never live in slavery." And it's a saying that Wallace basically took to heart and put at the centre of his cause to basically reclaim Scotland from Edward I. Now, the church itself is long gone. This graveyard behind me is the remnants of a church that was built after the chapel that Wallace's uncle worshipped in, or was the priest of, and again that's long since gone, leaving only the tombstones that you see here. But also, interestingly enough, in 1329 King Robert the Bruce had died, and his body was being brought back from his manor over on the west side of Scotland to Dunfermline to be buried, and it stopped here at Dunipace Church overnight. From what I've heard, the people of Dunipace charged the king's people for the privilege of storing the king's body here overnight, as they said they had to pay somebody to make sure that nothing happened to the body. So that's Dunipace. It's a really interesting wee place, and somewhere that folks should just maybe have a wee wander to, because this is essentially where Wallace is said to have learnt his most valuable lessons, and where he became the man he is, basically. So I'll let you have a wee look around first. I think probably best. I see there's some really old gravestones. I think the oldest one that was legible was 1700s. But yeah, this is historic ground. This is the site of heroes and kings, if only briefly. Before I sign off for today at Dunipace, it's something that you should know that Falkirk, the Falkirk area, is one of these places that it's at the crossroads of history. I don't think you'll find very many places, if any, in Scotland where so much has happened in such a small area, from the Romans, the Picts, the Scottish Wars of Independence, the Jacobites, the Industrial Revolution. It's all seemed to have happened around about this area, so it's quite a strange and interesting wee place. But just before I go off, if you can just see in the background that clump of trees there, it's actually sitting on a hill. It's one of the 3 hills. They said there was 4 originally, but there's 3 here, and that's where Dunipace gets its name. Hill fort, one of these mounds had the hill fort sitting on it. Interesting. I think I'll sign off to these lovely tunes. Have a great day, yeah?